talking.
It's the girl.
Forever, 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 forever.
Yeah, it's
Forever, 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 forever.
stuck at a green light. That's every Monday night at 8. So tune in. You don't want to be late. It's exclusive and it get explicit. You don't want to miss this. Tuck the kids in and pour a glass of mist. And it's something for the men too. Black and European too. All around the plane, yeah, we different but got same views. I can smell it in the air, it don't seem right. Brand new bins, but I'm stuck at a green light. And we losing our jobs to vaccines, right? I don't know what I'ma do, this can't be life. But mama said you must pull it together, cause as long as we got us and we together, it's forever.
Forever, 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 forever.
Stuck at a green light.
What's up? What's going on? Yet another Mayhem Monday is going down right now in cyberspace. Okay, we up here on social medias. All right, we getting it popping, none stopping. Y'all at home scrolling, liking, sharing. How about engage? Okay, let's engage with one another. Let's engage into the conversation. All right, let's get it. Let's go. Stuck at a green light. Okay, it is Mayhem Monday. It's going down right now. All right, up in your home. We up in the zone. You feel me? So get that drink. All right, get that smoke. Okay, because we chilling. You know, the beginning of the month. The beginning of the beginning of the month as well. Welcome March. You know, we coming in. A lot going on in the world. Okay, a lot. So we all have to woo-saw, be centered, pray, be humble, be kind to one another, because there's so much going on. So yes, the beginning of the month. All right, the beginning of the week. Let's get it popping, done stopping. Mayhem Monday. Let's get it. Let's go. Okay, let's get it. Let's go. I am so happy to, have Nephew Michael on the show. Let's just put it like that. Shout out to the DMF family, my family. I'm telling you, just an army of just cool individuals that is doing big things out here in LA. Long Beach, Compton, the West Coast, we getting it popping, stopping, you know what I'm saying? So mad love, major shout outs, it's going down. The topic of the night, we're going to be discussing it. We're going to be discussing the choices that we make. Okay, so who is really in control? Are you? Is it your circumstances? Is it God? Like, let it be written, let it be done. And we all question sometimes if everything is known, what's the purpose of free will? We're going to dive into the juice. So let's get it. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get the night popping. Okay. So stuck at a green light goes two ways, just like so. It's time. And it's always been time. Okay. To look at our culture in the mirror. I'm talking about the color community. I want us to look at our culture in the mirror, okay? We need to reflect on how we move with one another, how we treat one another, how we handle business, how we just, stand out in the world. You feel me? We got to reflect. And the other way that stuck at a green light goes, of course, is that, how it really feels to be stuck at a green light. I'm from LA all day. We don't play. Okay, so we in a city of traffic. So, how it really feels to be stuck at a green light in whatever way you look at it, you know what I'm saying? But on this show, it's about our life. It's about our experiences. It's about the things that we go through, okay, when we're trying to get to, all right? And it keeps us stuck sometimes, but we got to stay prayed up. You got to remember that some things happen for a reason. It could be to save you. It could be because sometimes what we want is not always what it may seem when you get it, So I want to empower people. I want to empower each other to just keep it going, keep it growing, keep it moving. And whatever you choose to do, never give up. So right now, okay, I am about to introduce, okay, just a wonderful, wonderful individual to be around, super talented, okay, and on a definite, powerful, powerful message that, we're going to speak upon tonight. So I'm so honored and I'm so excited to introduce Nephew Michael. Let's get it. Let's go. What's popping? What's
Howdy,
popping? What's
Paul.
popping?
What's going
Howdy
on with
do.
you? Howdy do. You see, I got my cowboy hat on, my boots and everything. I just finished shooting a video, a western called Wild West, video slash film with Herb 7. We went to a real cowboy town and really did it. It was nice. It was nice to play movie parts. I like that.
That's
What's
what's
going
up. So
on
you
with
got
you?
the acting popping tonight. You doing one thing to the next, and it's keeping busy, and keeping doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, man, I just bless God for me I just turned 54 the other day, and I was just sitting back thinking with the life I lived in my past, the choices I made in the past, where some folk thought I should have been dead, I could have been doing life in prison, and God blessed me to see 54. So right now, man, every little thing I can do, all my talents that I hid when I was in the street. I can sing, I can rap, I can play drums, I can act. So I'm just, I'm like, man, I'm a grandpa now. So I'm doing everything I can to just leave a positive impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, life is like really, 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 mysterious, and it happens fast. Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm like, dang, you know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate that in our community, it's really like rare that we even see, above 30,
Yeah.
above 40, so you rocking the over 50, you looking just amazingly, just wonderful, wonderful. So you got to tell me what you drinking from the fountain of youth.
Oh, no. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, some people might look at it different and we talk about it, but I honestly believe, I spent a lot of years in prison. I grew up in there. It was a bad thing. I never want to go back. Thank God I ain't been back in over 15 years. I'm good. But I just think a lot of that preserved me. And
Yeah.
we'll talk about it in some instances. It kind of saved my life because, it
Mhm.
was some times when I was in prison that things was going on the street, and I knew that if I was there, I probably would have been one of them that was out of here. So I mean, you take the good with the bad. I think that's what it is. I exercise. I don't eat. I don't eat meat. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to take care of myself and blessed by God, I guess.
Hey, that's all we can
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
That's pretty much all that we can do. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So you definitely grinding out here, just I just every time first I want to just share how we met. So we met because we have mutual, in the entertainment, it's just a small like community. Really,
Little
like
circle.
everybody's know everybody basically, right?
Yeah, that's the thing about it, and it's a full circle. And it's
Full
like
circle.
full circle. I mean, it's some of us grew up together. Some of us met through mutual contacts, and we just kind of kept that little knit circle. Like we're gonna always see each other at one of these shows or something. And it's like what 10, 12 of them. I look up and there you are, and here I am. We keep the same,
Yes.
and that's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Yes. So many events, basically, like a few, I've met Nephew Michael a few times. And,
Yeah,
at first it was like, hey, hey. But then as time kept going, we see, the dedication, the drive, the
yeah,
go-getterness, the way we move out here. And it made us, like, dang, okay, We out here doing the dang thing. You feel me? So it's definitely a pleasure to have you on the show tonight. Thank you so much for taking the time out to being on the show. You feel me?
It is a pure honor. It's an honor.
Yeah, so I want to start the night off. I want to talk about you and I want to know, like, tell me your story, where you come from, who you are, you know what I'm saying? So let the people know what's up.
I'm nephew Michael. I took that name on because I was always called by a street name Bulldog. I gang banged for over 35 years. I didn't stop being an active gangbanger until I was probably like 48, 49 years old. And I mean active, I mean active. And, it's just, that's my story. And, we're going to get into it, but it's just like my life kind of breaks that stereotype on how gangbangers were either raised up in a house full of gangbangers or they had relatives that were gangbanger or they just, or whatever it was their environment. I didn't come from that. I'm a celebrities kid. And because of my parents' celebrity status, they left me with my grandparents, my grandfather was the first pastor in the city of Compton. So it was just like I come from a good background. I was a good kid. Wasn't on the county. I didn't live in the ghetto. Wasn't none of that. I lived in Palos Verdes and then Linwood when I had to go with my grandparents. But it was choices like we gonna talk about that things. It was decisions that I had to make. And people, oh, you chose to be a gangbanger. No, I didn't. I was kind of forced, really, with no choice, But then after years of being in prison, 45 years in the feds when I was 19, and God opened the door where I didn't have to serve that whole time. And I got out 7 years later and caught attempted murder robberies and stuff like that, man. It's a blessing now that, I finally said, when I see my grandkids, and I watched my son start kind of following in my way, but when I started seeing that I had grandchildren, I made the decision to go back where I was raised at church, in my granddaddy church, and was like, well, you know what? I'm not into religion. I don't believe in all of this stuff. Some of this stuff sounds fishy, but I done tried everything else. And everything else didn't help. I still woke up wanting to put in work. You know what I mean? And revenge and stuff. And I reached out, man, and tried God. And, ever since then, I got credentials at UCLA. I was a UCLA student, lived on campus. I graduated Bible college in 2015. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to show an example. Like my belief in God helped me to be who I am now, man. So I'm just here to spread a good word and try to detour our people from having the mindset that we had, man, to hurt each other. Too much stuff going on out here. Everybody's against us. Why are we against us? We can't do that.
Exactly.
Everybody's against us.
Looking at our culture in the mirror, I don't understand it. Like, I think that, issues should be occurring based on the character or based on experiences that you have with one another, not just based on imagery or based on your skin color or based on this and that. And yes, we do go through a lot to be targeting each other. It's like, dang, it's like a double, how can I call it? Like, I don't want to say a double whammy, but like a double threat.
It's a double threat.
Yeah, because you have your community and then you have everybody else, unfortunately, because of our past history in America, there's these, stereotypes and expectations and these, opinions about our culture. And then for us to go against one another is a whole nother thing. So like you did it all, from gang banging, to finding this path to where who is really in control, and that is the thing with the choices of tonight. And I love this topic, I think it's super dope that you will go from, gang banging to like, look, there is definitely answers that are out here to be seeked that is from a higher level, right?
Yeah.
Like, so we all question, we all wonder, we all have this thing with religion and this thing with like, is God real? Is this fake? Is this what it is? But one thing that me and you have in common is being lost in life, like thinking that we got this and running into situations where we had to turn to God
to get us out of it.
To get us out of it, because who is really in control, right? So dopeness. And I thank you for sharing that, you know what I'm saying? Because the whole gangbanging thing, I just pray was stopped, because it's we're enemies towards each other. Like, we might as well be a part of the Ku Klux Klan. And like I had mentioned that before, like if you're gonna be gangbanging, killing each other, a lot of even the signs that gangbangers throw up is a part of the Illuminati. Have you heard anything about that? Like, about the Ku Klux Klan and the ties that are involved with that whole section?
I heard about it, but the thing of it was, it's like, man, with the gangbanging thing, everybody tried, to figure out their own way of identifying where they was from. My whole thing was like, well, you know what? It's not just a gang to me. That's my family. I had to run away from home when I was 16 years old. And people tell me, oh, you was a gangbanger and you chose to do that. I'm like, look, while my grandfather was at church saving everybody else, the devil was in our household and I was being molested since I was like 8 years old. And at the age of 12, same person molested me, put me on drugs. When I was 13 years old, I done already smoked crack cocaine before. And in orgies with my family member and stuff, and her husband. You understand what I mean? So yeah. It was like, dang, my mama's on the road with her husband, Howard Scott from the group Ward, singing Low Rider and Why Can't We Be Friends? And they're overseas. My granddaddy at church all the time, and there's some stuff going on in this house that is killing me. I don't know who to talk to. So at 16 years old, I was like, either I'm finna run over here with these dudes that used to always punk me and take my video money and stuff when I go to Chico's Pizza to play Pac-Man, or I'm gonna stay in the house. I chose to go out here and be like, if I can't beat you, I'm gonna join you. I ran away from home at 16 and was like, I'll take my chances out here in the streets. And it was kind of like, I don't know, people my age a little, I'm in my 50s. So, it was a story about Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. Tom Sawyer lived a good life. He was outside painting his family's picket fence. Huckleberry Finn was homeless, but they were best friends. Tom Sawyer left that good life to go and be with his friend, right? And went through a whole lot of turmoil and went through all kind of stuff. That's what kind of happened. I ended up meeting some other runaway kids whose parents was on crack or they were being abused in the house. And man, we made it happen. We lived in vacant houses. And so it's like, those are my homies. That's my family. But it's just, I just thank God, man, that me reaching out and believing in God, I'm a preacher and I don't like church. I don't like church folks because they get to acting like they don't stink. And the problem with that is preachers, if one of y'all hit this is the problem. We act like we perfect and don't do wrong no more. We lying because the Bible says we fall short daily. We're born in sin. We're born in sinful bodies. We'll never be that holy where we don't have bad thoughts, bad feelings. We don't get horny. We stop it. You have to stop that because we're at church saying we saving folks and looking perfect. And then when the stuff, because what goes in the dark does come to the light. That's in the word. So when our divorcing or cheating or drinking or it's more pastors committing suicide right now than ever before. And the reason why you sitting here hiding your struggles, when if you I'm a preacher and I'll tell you, I fight with marijuana addiction. I like to drink Hennessy when I after I get off hanging off 38-story buildings. But I thank God for getting me off cocaine. I thank God for, taking that murderous heart from me. I don't want to shoot nobody no more. I don't want to retaliate no more. So I thank God for that. I still have struggles, and we all, man, the disciples had struggles and they walked with Jesus daily. Thomas walked with him, and after he died and came back, they did not believe that he came back. So, you know, my whole thing is like, quit looking at that religious, old-fashioned church stuff. Lord, look at this, man. We disciples, dog. We have issues. Believing in God ain't gonna make us perfect, but it's gonna make us stronger. And we got to for each other in our community. You know, when I was growing up, 8 out of 10 kids went to church. Now everybody became woke, and this don't sound right, and this and that. So now you got 1 kid out of 10 now that even believe in God. Where are we gonna be at in 20 years? Phew, over with out here.
That
You know,
part. I mean, the whole beef with the religious and the spiritual aspect of things is simply what you said. Like the mentality that, you know, religion is a whole nother type and form of segregation. It's a
yeah.
form of hatred as well. To say, oh, what you're doing is a sin, you're gonna burn in hell for eternity. Like you're not God.
And can't send nobody to hell
you
or heaven.
you don't know. It's a scare tactic, you know, and I believe it's one God, it's one world, it's one formula. And it is a creator of this. Like everything is created, it's creation, because that's what we do as humans. We create. And going into that, you know, you do music, you know, you're a pastor, you've experienced things based on your circumstances, like you were explaining about, you know, I didn't choose to be a gangbanger. It was kind of like the circumstances. It's like, is it the environment versus nurturer that creates the individual? You know what I'm saying? Is it the nurturer or is it the environment that creates the individual? You feel me?
It's like for those of us who have kids. Now we
Right.
get grown, and when our kids get to being 12, 13, 14, 15, they get busy. So we trying to put them in sports and all that, but at the same time, we're tired around that time. Look, if you putting your kids in sport or whatever they thing is, I don't care if it's a boring piano thing at their school. Us as parents, especially fathers, I'm gonna get on your head.
Yeah, let's get it. Stuck in the green
We
light.
don't
Let's go.
we don't show up. Let me tell you something. I played football at Linwood High School the year after Suge Knight graduated. And the thing about it was, even though I wasn't a gangbanger, I was in a band and doing all this. I'm telling you, whenever I was on the football field and we running off the field and I hear somebody say, "Go Big Mike," it was the thugs that lived around the corner from me. It was never no family there. Everybody was so tired. My grandmama been working 10 hours a day. She wasn't coming, and my mama too busy, granddaddy too busy. They were all too busy with their careers and their dreams after they had children, to where eventually, hell, I could sit back and talk to a murderer that's my homeboy and be like, "Man, remember that time you was on the football?"
Versus nurture. Amen.
My
Yeah.
family can't. My family don't even remember me playing drums, other than ones that came when I was at church. But I'm like, you know, and we have to be there as parents, man, and really start supporting these kids. We can't keep telling them and preaching to them, "Don't do this." Now, the kids that's right now, that's 18, 19, we trying to preach and talk to them. No, you should have did this when they was 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, because it's a time when you can't do that no more, because the most vital years is really from birth to 5 years old anyway to mold a person.
Yeah.
After 5 years old, like that's a done deal. So then you got the extra years, which is up to 10 years old, you know what I'm saying, where you can really impact the individual's life. But then after that, that's a wrap. And that's what a lot of parents got to understand as well. Like you got to teach these kids young, you know, because once they get older and you let them, you know, run off at the mouth, you let them do what they want to do, it's going to be so difficult for you to change that, you know, by the time
I
they're
think
teenagers and everything.
it kills me to watch these kids disrespect their parents now. I don't understand it. I
Me
couldn't
neither.
smack,
And I ain't having it. I'm a mother and
I
I'm
couldn't
old school.
I couldn't smack my lips, say what, and I don't want to do it, and none of that. My whole mouth was busted.
Yeah.
You
Hell
understand what I
yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
you know what we got to be careful of. See, a lot of folks that don't go to church will be putting post up, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper," when they in their flesh and they in their feelings. Somebody that hurt their boyfriend, mad, or somebody mad. So you put these scriptures up here. But one thing about it, raise up a child in the way that he should go. You know what I mean? Because when he was old, he would not depart from it. That's my whole story. I grew up in church, and even though I left and walked away and everything, that's what it took for me to be who I am now. My grandkids, kids saw me in penitentiary because we got pictures in the visiting room. But I tell you what, I refuse to let my grandchildren talk about my daddy a Crip, my granddaddy a Crip, my granddaddy in the penitentiary, my granddaddy.
Yeah,
No,
to celebrate that as though that's some type of good thing to celebrate. I mean,
no,
but it's not.
my grandkids ain't gonna be able to say that. They're gonna be like, I saw my
Amen.
granddaddy. Yeah,
Amen.
saw my
Stamp
granddaddy
it.
graduate. My granddaddy music inspires people, and I'm doing everything. I took so much from the streets. You know what I mean? I'm from Linwood, California, Bulldog. I took a lot from the streets, and I'm like, for me to be alive today, I'm doing everything I can to give life back. You know what I'm saying? Give life
Yeah.
back. I know it's hard, but if it ain't hard, you ain't gonna grow. We used to lift weights, say no hurt, no big shirt. When you first work out, that first next day you be sore and you don't want to work out no more, right? Okay.
Yes.
So you got to have a mind to say, I'm gonna work through this soreness or I'm gonna give up. That's life.
The endurance.
That's
the
life.
endurance. The go-getterness. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, CO Beats up in this BI? You know what I'm saying? Thank you for coming through. What it do, my boy CO? That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? We up here, we talking about these things, and it's definitely getting real just off top. Damn, Nephew Michael, damn. We gotta get in the interview first before we dive into the juice.
Yeah, no, we going straight. I was front line in the street. I'm going front line with trying to get my people together. I ain't holding no cards.
That's right. And that's what Second the Green Light is about. And I'm happy that we on this movement. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because people are doing different things with platforms. And this is what I'm doing with my platform. So it's like you roll with it or not. Because I hear a lot of back and forth about my topics. Like, people like negativity. People gravitate to negative energy. And that's why like a lot of like conflictual content go viral. But see, at Stuck at a Green Light, we're talking about these real issues here, okay? We're talking about these real experiences that we facing. So if it's gonna move around slowly, let it move around slowly. But this mission is very, very important.
Yeah, long as somebody, if it reaches one person, and it saves their life, then what you're doing is what you was called to do. That's the whole thing.
Thank you so much. I do want to dive into the lyrical aspect of you because you are dope as I don't know what when it comes down to doing music. So let's dive into this. Okay, what made you say, out of everything that we just discussed, I am going to create music? How did it happen?
Well, I was born in it. My stepdad is Howard Scott from the group War. Like I said, my grandfather was a gospel singer as well. So it was always in the house. I played drums growing up from the age of 11. And it was always in me. But it was like, years ago, like in 1994, I was doing, I was West Coast rapping a little bit, trying to test the waters. We did some stuff with Mossberg, all that back in like 94, 95, you know what I mean? When he was trying to come out. But what I realized was, I was like, man, when I got back into it in 2013, I was like, man, I don't want to talk about shoot nobody, and I don't want nobody talking about, come on, let's hop in the car and put in work, because I got sons and they looking at that. I'm like, it looks stupid for an old dude to get on stage. I'm 54 years old and I'm a crip walk. Like, come on, dog. What I'm gonna do is, let me tell you something. I know what that's about. It wasn't a dance when I was coming up. You know what I mean? I seen people get shot. The war is going down when they start crip walking at the party, listening to Run DMC. Rap music when I was coming up didn't have violence in it. But we gang banged the parliament. So that's why I'm like, nigga, the rap music turned you down. You're turned down. Music didn't influence us. You had our big homies had on Stacy's and Slacks and Godfathers and all that. You know what I mean? That was gang banging when I was coming up. It wasn't the music, but it was just like, what can I say that'll fit the street? I come from that funk era, and the beat got you nodding your head. But what can I say that? Because what comes out the mouth is a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Excuse
Yeah,
my
you know,
language.
the mouth is very
So
powerful, that tongue
you can
there.
you can speak life or you can
You can
speak
speak
death. I
death.
want to speak life.
Amen. Yes,
I want to
yes,
speak life.
yes.
So I
True.
started just trying to tell my story just to kind of like in a gangster way. I ain't got to cuss, none of that. I have some of that music. I mean, I'm a West Coast artist. I love music. You know, I love the music. But when it comes to just, you know, certain things, it's just like, man, I want somebody to hear this that was on the verge of suicide and they changed their mind. I want somebody to hear this that feel like they're alone. And after they hear this, it not make them not feel alone and understand. Like I said, you know, you go in church, these people act like they don't want to shake your hand and nothing. They looking at you with their nose turned up. No, I'm a Christian, I'm a preacher and all that, but I'm just like you.
Mm-hmm.
I, my shit stink too. Yeah. When I leave here, I'm like, but I got to smoke. I might have to go smoke. I'm gonna pray about it later. But this is what I need. This is what I do to cope.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no different than you. I'm trying to pray this off like I'm trying to tell you. Trying to pray your stuff off. So I just wanted my music to be encouraging, inspiring, to just make somebody feel good. That's what we don't have. Some music you can feel good. I don't want to get depressed. Some music you can feel good to. You know, like we used to listen to
Mm-hmm.
Amazing Frankie Beverly. You know what I mean? Make you feel good.
Absolutely.
You know?
That
Yeah.
feel good, you know, and that's definitely what's missing these days in the game. You know, we
Yeah.
talking about ass, wop, ass,
Well,
titties,
how long we gonna talk about that?
cars,
Yeah, that's what's
houses,
important to us.
jewels, which is
Bad,
all
bad,
bullshit. You know,
bad.
music is very universal. It's a universal language. It's something that brings us together. Music makes the people come together. Y'all know that song. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's this
So
part of this music separating us. You
we
know,
have to be more conscious of what we're putting out there, especially us who are still doing
um,
music. And you know, we got I mean, on the West Coast, you know, I got to represent my home first, like as always, like, you know, the content that we create when we're doing music, the
yeah,
words that we speak is very, very powerful. And,
yeah,
you know, I had to like, look, we are the temple, the voices that we hear inside of us. Please adhere to it, your intuition, your thoughts. Like it's very, very powerful because a lot of times I have moments when I'm like, you are forever. You have a platform. You have a go-getterness, a confidence level to stand in front
yeah,
of people and speak in song, right? So, with that being said, what is your content? I feel like God slowed me down from doing music because of what I was saying. Some of us are chosen. Yes, a lot of us, we're all here, so we're chosen. But those who see, let them see. Those who hear, let them hear, right?
yeah,
It was a time when it was like, what are you doing with your music? Are you doing this because of clout, popularity, or are you doing this to create change? And right now, I feel like music is the only way we could create change, especially in the hip hop rap genre. Every race around the world loves hip hop rap, you know, and we just have to be more mindful of the messages that we're putting out here. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because, like you said, the tongue. So, absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about the DMF family. Now, I know plenty of members, individuals, you know, the brotherhood
Yeah.
of the DMF family. Shout out to Honcho. Shout out to Double G. Shout out to
Yeah.
Smokey Lane and abundance of others um, upon you guys. So, what's up with the DMF family? You know what I'm saying? Let us know what's up with that and how did that come together?
Well, it's like you know, Honcho, when he was young, his family they used to live over there in my area in Linwood. So you know, Honcho was like the start of a lot of us. Our first shows and everything, we all used to be at Honcho shows. You know, people that a lot of us that went. You know, I done performed at the Novo with DJ Quick and all that stuff and all that, but we started at Honcho shows. So it's just like we'd come over here over the hunt. That's where I'm at right now. DJ Aladdin, the legendary DJ Aladdin, just walked out the gate and went home. But it's like we come over here some days and just sit by the fire outside in the yard and vibe. We'll everybody turn on music. And you know, the man Smokey Lane is a beast. Smokey
Yes,
Lane,
he is. Shout out to
me,
Smokey Lane. Yes.
then when me and Smokey Lane hooked up, we looking at each other like, oh, okay, all right. And we was making songs in like 30 minutes. I'll sit back and be like, say that again, and write it, and the song would be done in like 20 minutes, right? And it was just, we became a family. We all got our, you know, I got my different label. I'm Gutter Gospel Entertainment, Gutter Gospel Music, you know, but it's just like Rock Box. He Rhyme Rock Entertainment. I come from Rhyme Rock. We Linwood babies. But it's like we all come to Honcho and DMF. That's what it's called. It means that's my family. We all come from
That's
different
my
areas.
family.
That's my, you know, and we sit
That's
back.
my family.
We came up with a slogan. I'm like, man, what kind of music is this? And all day say, the funk had children. We call it stank music. You know what I mean? You know, we had funk, this stank music. You know what I mean? It's soulful. It's gonna get in your gut like, oh, you know, when you hear something fire, you be like, oh, that's what we call it, stank music.
Yes, I like.
Yeah.
I've also performed at a couple of Honcho events, you know, back in my, you know, coming up days, some years ago. You know, Honcho been doing this a long time. Just dope individual, dope. I admire promoters, people who, you know, create these safe spaces for our community, for us to come to and express our talents. You know, so shout out to all the promoters, everybody out here doing the dang thing, like for real. So I want to get into the gutter gospel. You know, what's up with the gutter gospel? You know, I got the website up, so I'm going to pull it up. You know, as we talk about it. So what's up with it?
Gutter Gospel Entertainment. It was like, you know, I was rhyme rocker, and I like rocking the stage. I like gangster music. I love it. But I told Rockbox, I'm like, man, I want to build something where I'm like, you got church gospel, you got, you know, stuff like that. But I'm like, man, I want to just tell a story about the love of God, the love of Christ, and what happened from a street level. It's not all churchy. It's not going to come out. It comes from the gutter. What about those of us who slept and laid in the gutter at the same time? We was like, God is good, right? You got a lot of folks that was raised in church. If they lost everything and had to come sleep outside, they'd lose their mind and commit suicide. But I've been in crack houses where people was addicted to drugs and stopped smoking crack for that moment and cry like, God is good. I'm thanking God. You know what I mean? I saw my music, Gutter Gospel, is about like, I'm gonna give you a positive thing from a negative situation.
Yes,
you know, I'm gonna bring a rose out the concrete. That's what Gutter Gospel is. Yeah.
You know, I want to give a shout out right now to Pastor Armour, because when I was coming up, you know, Faithful Central, I've experienced different churches.
He's good friends. He's good friends with my pastor. He's like the godfather of my pastor. My pastor, which is my uncle Michael Fisher, calls him his spiritual father. Omer was just at my church last Friday.
Dopeness. Yes. Let me tell you. Now, I've experienced different pastors, and I'm telling you, yes, we are different. It's just the way you talk to me that can get me to really feel you. And what I really liked about Armour is that he was just real, man. He was just real. You know, he didn't, you know, you can say what you want, you know, but the way he preached, it was just real. It was like, this is what it is. This is what it is. And this is my message from God. You know, and I can relate to realism, like just the realness of it all, and not being so, oh, I'm holy and thou, and I don't like, no. We're gonna get into the realness of what we are as human beings. We are born into sin. It's in the Bible. And so
Yeah.
who are you to judge another individual for what they do? That's nothing but Satan because it's
Or
like
how they,
confusion.
or how they do it. Yeah, it's not up to
Yeah,
you on how it's
yeah.
done.
So
Yeah,
I love what you're doing because what you're doing is you're bringing that together. You're bringing the realness and the spirituality together. Like because a lot of people drive away from spirituality and God because of being criticized for who they are, who they feel they are, their sins and what they do. That's people are cruel out here, want to judge and torment you, who are so Christian. You know what I'm saying? But be evil as heck to you if you don't do what they feel is of God. Like you are not God. Like God created all of us.
yeah,
So what you're doing is just bringing together the hood or the gutter, the thug life or whatever you want to call it into spirituality. God, walk by
yeah,
faith, not by sight. Peace be
right,
still. Be
right,
humble. Know that you are not in control,
yeah.
right? So I
Don't look
love
at
what
my,
you're doing. Jesus is definitely real. I love the whole movement you got going.
yeah, yeah. I'm
So
like, don't look at my khaki suit. Look at my heart.
hello, judge by character. Shout out to Dismos. Like all the
Yeah,
time, we did the escape plan. We
yeah,
talked about gang banging and we talked
yeah,
about, how important it is like to just judge people by their character.
yeah,
The real essence of karma
yeah,
is, you do on to me, I do on to you, right? But we
yeah,
gotta let go and let God because everybody gonna face that day
yeah,
to when they reap what they sow. The battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. And
yeah.
it also makes you healthier when you have that type of mentality. So, yes, everybody, this is the website right here. Okay. Go to gospelmusicright.com. And so check it out. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. Check it out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the dopeness is real. So we right here, we talking about this music, okay? We talking about it. We talking about the DMF. We talking about all of this, and I think this is the dopest time right now to play Jehovah.
Yeah, let's do that, man. Shout out to Justified Fathers in Hip Hop. It's ain't no hood like fatherhood. You know what I mean? And we trying to build more fathers. If we build more fathers, we'll build more men that'll become more fathers for our community. And I told Justify, I said, man, we didn't get done the gangster thing, but I'm like, man, I'm hearing something. It's like, man, it don't matter what you call God, Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah, whatever you call him, just understand that he
Spirit.
is. Right? I'm like, man, let's do a song really because his wife had died and left him with 3 children. And people didn't think he was gonna be able to take care of it. And he's doing swell, right? So I'm like, man, let's just make a song, man. Even though you from Compton, I'm from Linwood. Man, let's have fun. Let's have a family environment, showing that no matter what our background is, that there are men out here. I even got my baby boy in the video. I'm like, there's men out here. Shout out to the men that do whatever they can for their children. And if you ain't acting right, make amends with their mamas, dog. You can't. I got this a whole nother subject we can have one day. How I love all the mothers of my children. I don't care about what happened, who was hurt, nothing. They call me, I'm coming. They're the mothers of my children. What we had is over. But hey, as men, no matter what they married, whatever. That's the mother of my child. I'm a respecter. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
you better
yeah,
respect it too. You know what I mean? And we got to start building that. But that's what Jehovah was about.
yes. I 100% agree. I agree. Unfortunately, we get with individuals, and we're not ready for them to be the parents
Yeah.
of our children. And it happens. It happens because we are not. You know, we're just here. We're living
Yeah.
our lives. Everything is destined. Correct.
I mean, yeah. It was things that I all of a sudden we met. This would happen. But I made it up in my mind as a man, like, look, we wasn't even in a relationship. We messed around 2, 3 times. You pregnant. I don't like you. You don't like me. but I love you. I respect you. And if you need me, I'm there. And leave it at that.
You know, that's the problem with a lot of us. We don't know how
Yeah.
to categorize our feelings for people. You
Yes.
know, it's forgiveness is very powerful. It's not for the other person, it's for you.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is just so dope. And it doesn't mean to carry on with that person as you did before. What it means is it's a peace that you have with this individual. Let peace be still, you know, and it's a maturity level that you have to live on life, you know, without chaos. Because you know how it gets with chaos, you know, busting out your windows, going to court, A, B, C,
All
D, E, F, G.
yeah, all that. You
So
know,
I definitely think that's a dope topic, which I actually did with Silky Fine with Broken Family. You know, check that out. You know, we talked about it, you know, how important it is to just be civil to one another. If you can do it at work, you work with people you don't like, but
yeah.
you have to work with them to get that one goal accomplished, but you ain't gonna mess up because that's broken, you know, policy. So you could get
Hey,
fired. You know
that's
what
just
I'm
like
saying? The
Crips
same
and,
way.
that's just like Crips and Bloods and gangbangers in jail. How in the hell we in here spreading, getting along in jail, and then we get on the street? So it's the same thing. But let's get
Well,
back
that is
to
so sweet right there, amen. Because it's
yeah,
the power of your mental state.
yeah.
The power, like I believe everybody crazy. Everybody who's walking this damn earth is fucking crazy. You know why? Because your mental state is so easily manipulated and fiddled and faddled. You don't know what's really in control of your choices. So let's
Yeah.
play the video and then let's talk a little bit about that, about the influences of our choices.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So let's get it. Let's go. Right now, it's about that time. I'm about to play Jehovah by Nephew Michael. It's about that time to turn up them speakers, light up them don'ts, light up that sage, light up them incense, get that water, get that wine, that drink. Okay, let's turn up on this Monday. Second of green light is definitely going down right now. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm about to play it. Jehovah by Nephew Michael. Let's get it.
Jara, Nisi, Nafa, yo. That's right, baby. Got it. I went and got the homeboy Justified. For all the things that he been through inspired me. Yeah. The word says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not onto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path.
Jehovah, Jireh, Jehovah, Nisi, Jehovah, Rapha, see you know what you do for me, yo. Jehovah, Jireh, Jehovah, Nisi, Jehovah, Rapha, see you know what you do for me,
If it wasn't love, then it wasn't me. Homie, I done been blind and I couldn't see. Nobody but the Lord, he on my side. If it wasn't for his grace, would have been died. I don't really want to know what you've been through. I done been locked down, locked up too. Been shot from the block, now OG. Had to make another way for the young G. I done lived in sin, don't cry. I was laid on the cross, my life. I gotta praise it for it. I paid the cost to be the boss on the getaway. With every blessing came a loss, but I'm here today.
Jehovah, Jireh, Jehovah, Nisi, Jehovah, Rapha, see you know what you do for me, yo. Jehovah, Jireh, Jehovah, Nisi, Jehovah, Rapha, see you know what you do for me, yo.
Over and over, I seek Jehovah with my faith in action, no four-leaf clover. Y'all call it luck, I call it touched by grace. And favor ain't fair, that's how I won my race. I ain't never seen his face, but I know that he with me. That's how I ducked them shots, and none of them hit me. No weapon that ever formed against me. You know the saying, and I don't know who it was, but somebody been praying. Lost my wife, but spared my life. And know we've been through it all, me and my kids is all right. Didn't have to beg, didn't have to borrow. Woke up every day knowing I ain't promised tomorrow.
tomorrow. Planning for my future, but living for today. Forgiven for the sin I'm living in when I pray. I don't deserve it, but he saw my life was worth it. When I was lost, he led the searches, introduced me to my purpose. Planning for my future, living for today. Forgiven for the sin I'm living in when I pray. I don't deserve it, but he saw my life was worth it. When I was lost, he led the searches, introduced me to my purpose.
Jehovah, Jireh, Jehovah, Nisi, Jehovah, Rapha, see you know what you do for me, oh Jehovah, Jireh, Jehovah, Nisi, Jehovah, Rapha, see you know what you do for me, oh, oh, oh.
Dopeness, dopeness, dopeness. The dopeness was definitely real. Okay. Yes. Hotness. Hotness. And your microphone is muted as well. Your microphone is muted. But one thing that I want to say, that reminded me of like Tupac, you know what I'm saying? The whole feel of the video, and it's just in such a just different message, you know what I'm saying? So yes, check out Jehovah, okay, by Nephew Michael, okay, available on YouTube. So check it out. Check it on out. All right, Neil.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes, that was dope.
Appreciate it.
Super
Appreciate it.
dope. Of course, yes. You know, I like, you know, that we could show the videos, not just listen to the song, you know, because it puts the whole imagery together, you know, in the delivery of what you're saying. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah. I just, it's like, man, it's better for me to do that and to like, man, you know what? The beat nice, man, and it's what you feeding the people ear gates. People gonna hear what they want to hear now, but it's when I'm sitting here like, look, man, I done lived that life. I done been a drug dealer, a trafficker, been a murderer,
Yeah.
a drug
Come with
addict.
it. Come
I done
on.
been
Come with it.
all. But on the flip side, I was able to come out of that and become a college student, a college grad, a grandfather, a father, a preacher, an actor, and so I'm turning around. Like, look, man, it's not too late. So what? You just did 12 years in the penitentiary. That don't mean nothing to me. That don't mean nothing. I served over 20 something years altogether in the penitentiary of my life, and it's like you have to do something better. We can't sit back and complain about our community, and we're not trying to set by example.
Yes, absolutely. And the best way to do that is to be the example, to be the person who experienced this. One thing that I just want to leave off with is just, and just for any adult gangster, gangbanger, and any level of America, all over, because it's all over. It's not just in LA, okay? It's all over the world,
Yeah,
literally.
it is.
What do you feel when you put that gun in the little homie's hand? What is the intention? What do you feel? Like, what's really going on? And unfortunately, in our community, we do have the unfortunate influence of drugs. When you on drugs, that whole leverage of thinking, like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Is just gone. A lot of people lost their mind, retaliating, gang banging, and doing this and doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to the choices that we make, which is the topic of the night, the choices that we make, is it really our choices? Or are there the choices that we're influenced to make under our circumstances? You know what I'm saying? And, the biggest example with that one is when you were saying, I gang bang, but it wasn't because I chose to. How is that? How is that? So it's beware of who you hang out with. Peer pressure, when you hanging around a certain crew, You know that term, birds of a feather flock together. So in your opinion, do you believe that? Do you believe that the people that you hang with have a big influence on the choices that you make?
They can if you allow it. I mean, I never was influenced by the crowd. I was never influenced. I've had some situations where I was influenced. You know, oh, come on, homeboy, her sister in there, and I'm gonna go on here with her. Yeah, I've been influenced on some things like that. But as far as, you know, as far as a lot of time, this whole generation is, I mean, I don't want to call them weak-minded, but any little thing that attracts their attention, they're rebellious. Anything that attracts their attention, and you know, that's which way they go. Understand this. Some people say, well, you know, we got butt whoopings that got put on us when we was young, and he still turned out bad. Okay, but now I'm sitting back like, now we have no discipline in the home, which these kids gonna grow up not respect their mamas and their daddies, so they're not gonna respect nobody on the street. They're not gonna respect law enforcement. They're not gonna respect nothing out there, and that's dangerous.
Very dangerous.
You're gonna lose
all the time.
You're gonna lose your life out here. I'm 54 years old, and influence can come. I've had, you know, if I pull up on my homeboys now and I have one too many drinks and feeling good and they reminiscing it, I have to catch myself though. And it took trial and error for me to learn that. What I used to feed into years ago, I don't feed into no more. You know, I'll pull up in the project, I'll pull up in Imperial Courts, and it'd be 30 people out there. We out there chilling, listen to the oldies. Now I hear some arguing going on, somebody agitated. I got the mind now, like I'm finna ease right over here and get in my car and go home. I'm out of here. Because it's gonna be
those type of choices.
I'm out of here.
With experience, big time.
Yeah, I'm out of here. When we go to them shows, you never see me hang at the show all night. Never. I come in, do what I do. I sit up there and support some artists. Like, all right, it's getting a little tipsy in here. I'm out of here. Pew! I'm out of here. Because I know that trouble finds me. I don't find trouble. I had to learn that comes with experience. It's just that even with influence, we got to start putting our young people how to have their own mind. Don't let nobody lead you. You are the head, not to tail. See, these are things that we're not talking to our kids about in the home. You are the head, not to tail. You don't go follow what nobody else tell you to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, because even if you know, was a part of the crew and one of the homies did something to old girl, whatever, and the police is gonna get all y'all because y'all is guilty by association.
I used to go with the homie somewhere. I tell them now, I'm gonna go with y'all. But if you get me in something, I got your back. We family. I don't care what nobody says. If you with your brothers and sisters somewhere and two people run up on them and get to fighting them, you fighting too. I don't want to hear that. I don't care how much Christian you are. You ain't gonna sit there and watch nobody jump on your children. You're gonna be out there whooping with sticks or whatever. So I tell the homie, I'm coming. But if you get me into something, I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna call the police. I'm not gonna punk out. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to help protect you. But when we get back to where we going, me and you got an issue because you're out of line. And if they don't respect that, soon as they get I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm like, I'm out of here. If it don't smell good, see, a lot of time we be so loaded and so drunk, so high, so into wanting to go and party. I just had to have that talk with one of my daughters. My daughter's 25 years old, and you just get so turned up to where now you ignorant just as them. No, it's your fault since you sit here talking crazy. When stuff like that go, get up out of there. And it's just the choices we make. I mean, it's some choices. I tell people some things we didn't have choices. We had decisions like, either I'm going to stay in this frying pan or take my chances on jumping in the fire. Or, it's just, we got to be careful with it and don't being influenced by stuff, being influenced by this new music and all that ain't doing nothing but tearing our people down. We got to build our people up.
Yes. You have to be aware of that, because it's real.
Yeah.
So much.
And before we go, for you OGs that may come across this, how can I allow somebody to call me big homie if I don't love them enough to try to stop them from doing something that's gonna harm? I know we from the same turf, this the hood. But young, I'm not your big homie, if I'm encouraging you to go kill somebody, retaliating. I retaliated for 40 years. And it never brought none of the dead homeboys back.
No.
And on their birthdays, I still cry. So what all I caused was some more pain to somebody else.
The saga continues. The saga continues.
That's it. It never helped. It never helped.
But let me ask you this, seeing as though that is designed to be this way. We know this. We know that the government is on top of this. We know this. Why do we continue to do the things that we do in these low-income communities, these hoods, or these turfs, these plains? When you look at the whole 50 Cent saga of ghosts, like what is keeping? I mean, money, drugs, I get it, but damn, the war zone.
It can work two ways, and the first one gonna hit you in the gut because it's true. That African blood that's in us, we're naturally tribal.
Yeah.
We're naturally tribal. The Indian in us, naturally tribal. This tribe fought with this tribe, fought with that tribe. We're naturally that way.
Territory, natural resources.
We're naturally that way. And when we were brought over here, they knew that. So they put us in low-income housing projects. It was a project. What does project mean? Look in the dictionary, whoever looking at a project. An experiment. An experiment. Low-income housing, this and that. And it kept us, they know we're tribal, so when they can keep us in bunches, we'll feud with each other.
Absolutely. It's like being in a relationship with someone will trigger this, and you do it just to get that reaction out of them. How easily manipulated you are to do as such.
How you got a housing project over here that don't like this housing project over here because you close them all off. We're naturally tribal. These Africans didn't allow these Africans to come over there without some static. You know what I mean? Or them Indians didn't just let no other Indians just come rolling through their turf. They was pulling out spears like, what you doing over here? Trading and all kind of stuff. So they knew that we were naturally like that. So we got over here and got set in communities like that.
We are at war right now. We are at war with Russia. Like, it's not just us. It's not just the African blood or the Indian blood. It's the human blood.
Yeah, period. I mean,
they stir and manipulate to cause these territorial outbursts.
Over there in them areas where we come from, Egypt, Arabia, Europe, all of that over there. It's natural. But the American society, them folks with slavery and all that, when they put us over here, they put us in the same kind of circles. Now, the only thing about it is we got to reverse it. We got to understand what's going on. We know that it's hereditary in us to be tribal. But one thing about it, hey, we got to learn to stick together in this society. It amazes me how America can send Ukraine $400 million, and we still got homeless folks over here ain't got a place to stay. But that's a whole nother show.
They got money for war and bombs and death and tragedy. I don't get it. Like, woo, life.
But one thing about
it, the world, or is it the people in it? You feel me? It's the people in it.
And one thing about it though, it's just like, I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna leave it right there. We deep in Revelation, so I'm not surprised.
Revelations. We deep in
them dragons coming out. Them three-headed dragons coming out.
Yeah, definitely the signs of the times. Those of you who are aware of Revelations, a lot has been happening. I even think the trumpets have already blown with Trump and Fitz.
It's going down.
Let's get it. Let's go. Then you got all of this death, all of this plague, all of this just people are fucking fucked up. People are fucked up.
From the time
It's scary, yo. It's scary. Talk about the monster under the bed, the monster walking down your fucking street, the monster driving beside you, yo.
He's walking around. He walking around on this earth right now.
Yeah, like you innocent, you cool, you want nothing but good motives for people. You got people who out here that just want you to just die, fail, and they don't even know why. They don't even know why.
And even if you got I get more hate from people that don't want me to believe in God. You don't want me to believe in something that could be like. So I tell you now, I would rather die and find out that I didn't need him than for me to die and find out I really did. So I'm taking
when you know it, when you feel it, when you walk it, when you goosebumps. Okay, yeah. You hear that voice in your head, like we got God inside of us. You know, that is discernment. That is, that is, so, I believe that the choices we make, I mean, it's like a this and that with let it be written, let it be done, our destiny already be known. And our circumstances. And what I mean by that is, no, I didn't want to have sex with this man for money for my rent tonight. And this is not me. This is just an example. I don't want to have sex with this man, but
I don't have no other resource.
So look, under my circumstances, this is the choice that I had to make, right?
Because none of the people that's going to judge you after it was there to help. So, yeah, Amen. I am. So what was I supposed to do?
This man comes into my home trying to rape me. I have no choice but to kill his ass.
Yeah.
The choices that we make, sometimes are out of our control.
Yes.
And I even say that with love, the people that we fall in love with. I do. I believe that. I believe that we have no control over who we fall in love with. I'm sorry. No. I believe it's destined. The heartbreak, the lessons that we learn.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of it. Now, some of that, we wasn't listening to God. We didn't pray for God. I know me personally. I'm sitting back. I'm 54. And it took me probably in the last couple of years for me to sit back and really say, after all these baby mamas and all these failed marriages, I really want to fall in love for the first time.
Damn.
For the people in the back.
Deep as fuck.
After 2 marriages and all these baby mamas at 54 or in my 50s, I'm like, now I want Lord, I really want to fall in love. I want somebody to love me. And what I realized was that a lot of our hurt, a lot of our stuff in relationships and disappointments, we ain't talked to God about it before we made decisions to be with these people. Because it ain't too many. If I had 20 relationships, I can't count but maybe 1 or 2 that I sit down and pray with. And a lot of times, so I had to sit back and think like, you're right, Lord. I wanted that. I didn't get down on my knees like, look, I'm attracted to you. I know I'm in my flesh. I want to just snatch you in the bushes right now. But you know what? Let's do this before we go there. Let's get on our knees and pray about it.
Let's do this the right way.
Let's get on our knees and pray about it.
God. Amen. Yes.
Lord, in front of each other and God, I want this woman, God, and I want this man or whatever. You know what I mean? We are on our knees about it. Then from that point, then hey, you know what I mean? So I had to sit back and be like, I never prayed with her before. We met each other and jumped straight. And now I'm hurt because it didn't work out. She was cuckoo or I was cuckoo. Like, yeah, so some of that, it'd be hard.
Yeah, sometimes, you can bring that cuckoo out of the person. That's why there's different strokes for different folks. You wonder why the person doing better in the other relationship because y'all just wasn't, I get it.
So I'm at the point now that when that feeling comes, like, look, I'm feeling this kind of way about you. I don't know how you feel, but if you do, can we just meet up real quick and go pray? Before we go meet up and smoke a blunt and go have dinner and drinks before that, because that'll lead to some other shit. Excuse my language, Christians. But look, you know what? I'm feeling this way about you. Can we go pray to, you know, can you go, can we pray about this? Or how we feeling? You know, you know, and I just believe now as adults, that's what we really got to do. Because God made woman for men. You are some man's gift. You were born to be given to some man that God has favor with. Yeah. We ain't gonna see. We got like a few more shows we can do, right?
Well, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. When you ready, I'm ready. Because we do. I would love for you to, man. We need to talk. Because we could probably do a segment or something. You know what I'm saying? On the type of level that we're talking about here. Like this is really dope here. You know, with the choices that we make, because it's so many levels to this. Even with cheating.
Yeah.
Stepping out of the home, just
all
so
that.
much.
All
So
that.
much.
Yeah, it's
But one thing that I do want to leave off the conversation with, though, is that you reap what you sow. And that is not karma. What that is, and I've said this before, huh?
That is biblical. That's word. Damn karma, that's word.
You reap what you sow.
It's what you're going to get out of it.
And that is the choices that you make. That, people, is the choices that you make. You get with a guy, you see he playing games, you see all the red flags there is to see, sis, and you still decide to be with this person, marry this person, and it's vice versa. It's go both ways. It's your choice. And then God is looking at you like this. When they say, oh, God is the reason. God is saying this. If you feel like this man or this woman is noble enough for you to keep blessing them, I'm going to let you keep doing it. I'm going to let you keep doing it because we're all God's children, right? We're all God's children, but you're going to reap what you sow because it's going to come a time when y'all gonna get a divorce, or when that man gonna put his hands on you, or when things are gonna escalate. So that right there, we really gotta be serious of what we actually is seeing in actions,
and
in life, like the whole shebang.
And we gotta pray that our mind is right as well. Because
I was gonna say that a lot of people like drama though. A lot of people make these choices because they like to have problems.
Insecurities will make you run away. Insecurities will make you chase away the man or woman that God called for you. You can be
insecurities. Okay, let's talk about that real quick. That's big. Insecurities will make you, yes. But what does that look like to you? What does insecurities look like to you, though?
Insecurities, I'm gonna tell you something. Insecurities is people that still, oh, that reminded me of what he did to me or she did to me. Oh, that looks good. Oh, because when you come in looking, you're looking for stuff. You're trying to look for anything that don't look right to you. And still, it takes prayer. When you're interested in somebody, pray about it. Pray about it and then pray together. Because I know for a simple fact that I've hurt some feelings and I've walked away, excuse me, or pushed away some good people because it looked like what I seen before. I'm gonna give you an example.
Come on, talk to me, because it's really what I need to hear right now.
Not realizing that when you meet the man or the woman that God called for you, understand this: the devil gonna slide up in there, and sometimes he'll make it. All of a sudden, you getting funny phone calls from exes talking about that's still your man. That man ain't seen that girl in 7 years. Here she come with it. But now it's an argument and a wedge in between y'all conversation. Well, why would she be calling me if you ain't messing with her? Or why this nigga just told me he used to smash you? See, we got to understand. So when something is good, the devil coming. First of all, be ready for it. At the same time, just say a woman for yourself. A man is intimidated about your drive, intimidated about your status, intimidated about your show, about your career, and all that. Those be attachments. They be sent. Now here it is. Oh, you ain't got time for me because you always on the radio show. You ain't got, and it goes both ways. I've watched so many good artists They're in relationship, their spouse or their, or whoever they was with was intimidated by by they couldn't go do no shows and all that. So we have to, like I say, when you somebody, pray about it. You got to pray about it, because
And
who's for you
trust
is
your
gonna give you
gut.
strength in anything you do. Yeah, it's gonna give
Trust
you
it.
strength in what you do. That man that's for you is gonna push you to continue to doing what you're doing right now. You understand what I'm
That
saying?
part. And not
Yeah.
punish you or not do
Not
something to
punishing.
match what you
No,
doing because it's real, man. Like I'm gonna just be real. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard out here
gotta
for
pray.
a queen like me. It's hard out here. You know what I'm
If
saying?
if I can't pray with you, if I can't pray with you, I
hard.
can't lay with you. Yeah, I'm like now.
If
If I
I
can't pray
can't
with you,
pray with you, I
I
can't
can't lay with
lay
you.
with you. So put that on a t-shirt. There, here go. Because I got t-shirts with everybody on the damn show.
You know what I mean? If I can't pray with you, I
Yes.
can't lay.
If I can't pray with you, I can't lay with you. I love it.
That's
I
it.
love it. The choices in cars. Okay, let's go pet. Let's get petty. You know, the choices in the clothes you wear, the choices in the jewels you rock, the choices in the cars you drive. Is that your choice? Or is it influenced by what the world seems cool, like what the world feel is cool, what the majority feel like is popping? You know, is Benz really a high class car because it's a Benz, or is because of the people making it that quality car? You feel me?
And yeah, and
It's that simple. The brands that you wear, the choices that you make, where you put your money at, your priorities. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? The choices that you make when it comes down to you reacting to something.
yeah,
You know, like the choices that you make, it takes deep thought and it takes time. So please, people, it's okay before you make a choice to not make that decision for a while and to really sort it out and look it through. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? So life
man,
changing, life changing.
yeah.
So before I let you go, dope show tonight. And I thank you so much for being a part. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was just a lot of dope information.
I appreciate
You
it.
know, it was, huh?
I appreciate you as well.
Yeah, you been all outside. It ain't cold. Dang, I'm about to.
Hey, I ain't worried about the weather yet. Now, after we get off here, then I'm gonna get cold. But I'm 10 toes down. I'm asphalt. I'm
That's right.
asphalt. I'm
He
in
turned
North Long Beach. I didn't go to church and hide out. I'm in the streets. I deal with Compton,
Amen.
Watson, Long Beach. I run the streets.
Yes, yes, yes. I definitely feel like it's just, I mean, we're covered, we're protected. You know, I believe that we're all here for a reason. Keep doing you, what you do. But, you know, your choices is very important. Be careful with these choices. I know that our childhood experiences, like what you shared with us in the beginning, impacts our life tremendously.
Yeah.
Tremendously. So educate yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Don't keep using your past as an excuse. We're all children. They say once a child, once an adult, twice a child. I believe throughout lifetime is a child. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy CO. All right now, nephew Michael, before I let you go, I'm gonna have to ask you the question of the night. And that is, describe a stuck at a green light moment. How did you react and what is the outcome?
A
And you
green
share
light.
it, like this always happens, but let's, empower people to keep going in life. And the moment when you was just stuck, you handled it and you conquered.
Yeah. I mean, it's just my green light moment. It's when you talk about stuff that normally is not to be talked about. That's the healing process. So even though I've told my testimony a million times, I've preached about it, I've done everything I could, to talk to people, there were still some things and that I still held inside. And this conversation tonight kind of like opened it up for me, where I actually had to talk to myself that I didn't realize. You know what I mean? And the outcome of it is that I feel better now after we just had this.
Dopeness. I never had this type of stuck in the green light moment. How
Yeah.
dope is
I've been
that?
battling. I've been battling. I finally get my own place and everything. As soon as I get my own place, work slow down. So I've been battling. But tonight, being on here trying to inspire other people and opening up about some things helped me right now. You just took the Band-Aid off. So that's the outcome right now.
Man, amen. I appreciate you and this whole experience tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Very powerful. Very
Yeah.
powerful. I thank you for sharing things that a lot of people feel like they can't share when it's important to share. Like we're when we share our
Yeah.
experiences, we're helping
Yeah.
out someone else who is experiencing that same exact thing, who think
And
that they're
and
alone and that they're
and
the
healing.
only ones going through it.
Yeah. Yep.
So you're awesome. And I really appreciate you taking the time to do this, like big time, big time.
Thank you. Love
Absolutely.
you,
So,
sir. Love it. We're gonna
man,
do it again.
we got to. Look, stick in a green light. It definitely went down tonight with your boy, nephew Michael up in here, okay? Got the LBC up in cyberspace,
Yeah.
doing major things. Was just left a movie, okay?
Yeah.
You said a movie?
Yep. A movie slash
Just
video
left a
shoot.
movie,
Let's laugh at Cowboy. Wild
doing
Wild West.
music. Wow, the whole shebang. I just, toast to you. Toast
Thank
to
you.
you. And I encourage you to keep doing it, keep going. You feel me? Keep being the inspiration, keep telling your testimony, keep going and keep it.
Keep it going. I appreciate you, man. One love. They can catch me on Facebook, Nephew Michael. Instagram is on the screen at the Bull 124. My website, guttergospelmusic.com. I'm on Twitter, everywhere. Man, I got music coming, plays coming. I do stage plays, so I got some stuff coming. And we just gonna keep in touch and keep it moving.
Yeah, and that's the best thing to be. Social media, man, blessing and a curse. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
definitely a way for us all to stay connected. Yes, check out your boy. Okay, this is the Instagram page. Okay, the Bull 124, nephew Michael. And all the things. Check it out. Look, check you out. Okay, tell them what's
Yeah.
up.
my
What's
character,
up?
my character in the film was they call me Bully the Undertaker. Hey, I worked with the sheriff, but I owned it. I owned a mortuary. You see, it got the hearse behind me.
The
But when it came
hearse.
back, if you look at the collar, I'm the preacher too. So I'm like,
That's
hey,
right.
I'll get you and I'll bury you.
That
In the
part.
movie,
I can do both.
it's real exciting. It's real exciting.
Yes. You got Gutta gospelmusic.com on the page, live link that you guys could go ahead and just, check out the
Yeah,
whole shebang. We're
yeah,
supporting each other. This is what we
yeah.
do. And let's get it, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Dopeness. You are very camera dope. You be taking some very nice pictures. And I want you to
Yeah.
share the story of the Silver Fox comment.
Well, probably about a couple of months ago, I was at work, and I hang on buildings. I hang on in a little cage on 38-story buildings outside on two cables.
Okay, why?
Removing,
Because the people are
removing,
wondering, like, what are you doing
removing,
there? Are you stripping? Are
removing,
you?
removing scratches off windows.
Well, I don't know what happened with the audio and the service, but in the world of cyberspace, these things happen. These things happen. So I hope nephew Michael could come back in. You know what I'm saying? Dope show tonight, dope show. And this is the Instagram. And like we were discussing, like hopefully, he could come back through like what it do. But that was pretty much the bulk of everything. So please check him out, follow, Okay, let's get it. Let's go. Let's see. Let's see. Oh goodness, let's see. Hmm. Hello. Oh, okay. So that's a no. That's a no. So, I mean, hopefully he could come back, proper departure, proper goodbyes and everything. But if not, man, thank you so much, Nephew Michael, for being on the show. Definitely a dope show tonight. God is always in control, like how that happened at the end of the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm sending positive vibes out there. All right. I'm sending positive vibes out there. Positivity. Just the dopeness. Just keep doing you. Don't let nobody make they thing your thing, cause it ain't. Cause it ain't. Know who you are. Be true to you, boo-boo, regardless of what people gotta say about you. You are your own individual. You are unique. You are vital to this world. Don't let no other human being make you feel any different, any different. Thank you. I had like a few people hanging in with your girl throughout the whole show. I have people that just want to look, don't want to comment, and it's all good, but you are present. And I thank you so much for sliding through. For sliding through, I thank you so much for just supporting your girl, supporting the show and everybody. Abundance of people who have been on the show. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, breaking news is breaking down doors. Subscribe to the channel, okay? Stuck in a green light, Forever TV is going down. Shout out to Angels Clubhouse, okay? Because we about to rock this jump. Shout out to West Coast Heavies. It's definitely going down. Successful event yesterday. Everybody who performed, everybody who was a part of everything, thank you so much. There's going to be more to come. You know what I'm saying? Music and much more. You feel me? Music and much more. I hope that you all have a wonderful night. Okay, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Who knows what that is? But don't do it. Okay, check out www.foreverglitterbox.com instead. Okay, get you some bomb accessories. Check out shows. I'm going to be getting the website revamped, redone, redo, okay, with the new for 2022. Boo boo. Hey, I got this. I got this. I got this. So check out your girl. Share. Hey, subscribe. Let's get it. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Join the conversation every Monday, 8:00 p.m. live. Okay. But the show is always available to you after people. Okay. So let's get it. Let's go. Share if you care. Tell a friend, give a grin. Make that morning.